I try this a new way. I'm gonna show you the tricks that I know.
Okay, it's time for a surprise video drop on a weekend because I finished a lot more than 10 books, but something's happening that'll come up soon. You'll see it before you know it. I want to just catch you up on the last like 12 or 13 books I read. I think 12. So I'm gonna catch you up on those books, however many that is. So that way at the end of April, when I do my wrap up, I can give you like the last chunk of books I read in April and we'll be good to go. And then the other books I read will show up in another video soon. Teasers. You've seen them on my Goodreads if we're friends. So let's get to it. First up, we have Gaming Grace by Piper J. Drake. This is my first ever Piper J. Drake book, and I really enjoyed this. This one involved Grace being on the cruise with her friends. This is part of the Gone Wild series, and they are running around using an app to like play little games on the cruise, and it's very cute, very fun. It was a 4-star read. I really like this series. I need to finish it. I just haven't yet. Next, I read Fire in His Embrace by Ruby Dixon. This was part of the Romance Takeover readathon. I will link it up above and down below for you to go check out. I talk more in depth at the end of that video about these books, but I read the 3rd book in the Fire Blood Dragon series. I really liked it. I'm excited to continue that series, but I'm kind of trying to pace it out a little bit since there's only 7 books. That was also a 4-star read. Next, for the Romance Takeover readathon, I read Brierley by Aster Glenn Gray. This was a 5-star read. I loved this book. I cannot recommend it enough. This is a male retelling of Beauty and the Beast. It is closed door. It is a slow burn novella that really takes a setting that I never thought I'd like, which is takes a setting I never thought I'd like, which is the World War. And it is in the British countryside, and it's just delightful. I mean, utterly delightful. I think that if you want to like read a really different historical, this one is perfect. Then I read Flame by Letha Romig. This is book 2 in the Web of Desire. Yeah, book 2 in Web of Desire series. I have Ashes queued up. It's going on a readathon TBR very soon, and I cannot wait for it. Like, I cannot wait. But this was delightful. I can't tell you anything about it because it's the middle book in a trilogy and I'm gonna spoil it, but basically 2 childhood lovers are reunited when they're older, and there's some stuff going down with like kind of mafia gangster stuff. Next, I read 8 Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson. This is a great thriller with an unreliable narrator. It took me a long time to piece it together. I gave it a 3.5 total. I thought it was good. I do think it dragged a little overall, and I didn't love his characterizations of women. They just felt weird, as I find sometimes when I read male writers. But I had a blast still, and it was a good thriller, a nice change of pace. Then I read Lush Money by Angelina Lopez. I read this, I feel like I read this for another video. I don't remember right now. Oh, I read this for reading the tropes, fake relationships. I will also link that down below, and there'll be a little card up here. So I loved this. I gave this a 4 out of 5 star. Right? Yeah. I gave this 4 out of 5 stars. This is another great fake relationship. This is a marriage of convenience to produce a baby so that this rich CEO woman can have a baby that is also a princess. The goal is to have a baby girl. Obviously, who knows if that, you know, not completely controllable situation, but so she enlists Mateo, who is a prince, and he's working on like making this special vine to grow on his land, and there's a lot of like conflict. It was really, really good. It's a smoking hot book, high up there on the steam fans or whatever you want to call it. It's a very open door. I had a blast though. It does have dubious consent, which I've talked about every time I talk about this book, so I know I'm like a broken record, but I just want you to be aware of that happening in the beginning so you're not taken by surprise. Overall though, freaking delightful. Then I read We Set the Dark on Fire by Taylor K. Mija and We Unleash the Merciless Storm. Both are 4-star reads. I love this Latinx YA fantasy duology, whatever it's called. These are so fun. I really love the world building, and it's like these 2 wives, and the one has the purpose of like breeding and giving them children, and the other one is there to be like the calm, like not emotional one, like the voice of reason. And it really involves some great like sabotaging and adventure, and I loved these books. They both were great. Both are 4 stars. One of my favorite series. I've got to get it for my shelf. Like, love, love, love this series. If you want a fantasy that's different, I think this is a great option. Also, it's only 2 books, so it's like if you don't like the first book, whatever, don't continue on. I found it on my Hoopla. You may have luck there as well. Next is everything I read for the reading rush, so I will run through these quickly because, again, another video you can go watch if you want like full summaries at the end. I read The Widow of Rose House by Diana Biller. This is a gothic spooky romance and I loved it. This was a 5-star read. I seriously adored this freaking book so much. I cannot wait to see what else Diana Biller writes. I loved the setting. I think it's kind of Gilded Age, right before electricity. So maybe not Gilded Age, like right, it's right close, very close, whatever that is. I guess Victorian. I'm bad at history stuff, so oh well. This had such a strong heroine who was running away from a really bad situation, and her ex-husband, she's a widow, and Sam kind of shows up and like has to figure out why she won't just like be with him. He really struggles with that because he comes from like this really great family, and I kind of hope the rest of the family gets books because they were really fun. Next, I read All Together by Brierley Harper and All at Once by Brierley Harper. All Together was a 5-star read. I loved this book. It is like perfection. It's a great menage. It is basically no BDSM. There's like some dominant stuff in it, but it's not like other books have it at all. Like it would be like a 1 on the scale, like 1 to 5, you'd be at a 1. I loved this book. I don't know why I put it off. It's such a great erotic romance. It involves a best friend's brother and his roommate and a notebook about trying to learn about how to do it and kiss a boy and everything else in between. Well, everything from there to the end. So cute, so fun. All at Once is about Bliss, who goes to a ranch to help be their like cook and cleaner at the ranch, and the 2 guys, Colt and Wilder, I think, I don't remember all these names, are pretty great. They're very like gruff heroes. Brierley Harper calls her heroes alpha mellows, so like they're alpha marshmallows, and that is like perfectly describes them. This was again great, but I gave it a 4-star because I didn't love it as much as the first book. And then last but not least, I read Cold-Hearted Rake by Lisa Kleypas. I listened to this on Hoopla. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars, or 3.5. I think I'm rounding up to a 4, so like 3.5, 4 stars. This is the beginning of her Ravenel series, and I have a like tumultuous relationship with the wallflowers. I like very specific moments in certain books and characters, but overall I actually like don't love the series because I'm weird and I'm very bothered by certain actions. This was so fun. So I was reading Goodreads review, and it's like very divided on people who like it and don't, but I honestly found it very fun. I thought Kathleen was pretty strong-willed and like kind of take no shit, whereas our hero Devin is a rake of all sorts, and he inherits the land from Kathleen's now dead husband of 3 days. So it has a little bit of that taboo, like should they get together or shouldn't they, like is this okay? So that was really fun, and I had a blast listening to it. Honestly, I tore through that book in like a day or less. So I think if you like Lisa Kleypas or you wanted some fun historicals, this series could be great because there's like 6 books also. But yeah, those were the last 12 books I read. We'll see if I counted right, and I will be back in a few days with the vlog with the other 10 books I read. So oh boy, that one's gonna be fun. So I will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe.
I'm getting tired of talking.